great information for everything you need to know how to get enrolled into the MBA program. So we will start off with going through some simple PowerPoints to let you see and answer any type of question, let you see what the program is about, how to complete it within a year, how to complete it within 2 years, the costs associated with completion, all things of that nature. But we have also a very special guest. We have Miss Isa Cannon, who is the director of admissions. So she will provide you those key information that you really need. So at this time, I suggest you to just start typing away whatever questions you had on your mind at the time. And if we don't answer it here in the PowerPoint, someone can answer it immediately. So you don't have to wait to us for us to complete this PowerPoint. You could just go ahead and type in the questions, and we'll be able to answer it immediately. So let's start off with our accreditation. Clayton State College of Business programs are all accredited by AACSB. This is great news. Why? Because AACSB only give accreditation to about 5% of all business schools worldwide. So this is a really great accreditation to have, and we are definitely honored to have this accreditation. We work hard for it, and we want to make sure that you reap the benefits of it. So our Master of Business and Administration program is what we call superior value. Now, why do we say that? Because we really enjoy having a program that is convenient. We have traditional here on campus. You could attend classes in the classroom, or it's convenient also because you could attend it online. So at the end of the day, a lot of people ask if I take some online classes where my degree say Clayton State University online. No, it will say Clayton State University because the same professors that teach the traditional seated classes also teaches online. So you could take it whichever option you prefer based on your schedule allows. The second thing is it's affordable. Our MBA program is about a little bit less than $13,000 a year. This is by far a really great value compared to many different universities within our area. So this opportunity for you to really take advantage of a great program for a lower cost. All right. Of course, I talked about how it's accredited, but it's just not accredited. It's accredited by AACSB, which speaks for itself. Um, it definitely provides a lot of flexibility based on class schedules and class availability. So, for example, if you are a traditional student that would like to take a class on campus, you only meet 1 day a week, 1 day. So you could take, say, a marketing class. You're taking on a Monday night. You won't meet back again until the next Monday night. If you decide to take that same marketing class online, they provide you a list of items and tasks that you complete on the Monday. You is not due back until the next Monday. So you have all week based on your time schedule, based on your requirements and job requirements and life requirements. It allows you to, to take it when you're able to actually complete it. So opportunity in itself. And then the last thing is that our MBA program is specialized. A lot of times when you have a general MBA, which is a great MBA in general, it doesn't really give you the concentration that you really need. If you are in HR and you really want to concentrate in HR initiatives, we have an HR concentration within the MBA. If you are a supply chain or logistics individual that really want to learn about trying to focus and gain knowledge specifically in that career choice, it allows you to actually take courses that is specifically for supply chain. So all in all, we'll go into detail about those a little bit later, but I just wanted to point that out to you, that it's a great opportunity for many of you all the way around. So let's talk about that a little bit more. Our concentrations, we have 5. We have accounting, and people that usually go into accounting usually want to complete their CPA exam, and so they just really want to know more guidance and provide more information and more classroom, more hours to allow you to take the CPA exam. But you don't have to be an accountant or go into or pursue, excuse me, the CPA exam. It's just a generalization in general. So the second thing is digital marketing. Our like society are now marketing more digitally than ever before. So to have those type of skill sets will be invaluable to almost any company that I know. So it's a great opportunity for you to learn some of those skills. You actually, in your first class, I believe you get like a Google Ads certification, and then on the second class, you get a different type of certification. I mean, all those certifications are great and buildable on your resume. So just taking those concentrations alone will help you, no matter what career choice you're in. The next one would be human resource leadership. This program is, or this concentration really is like geared towards people that really would like to pursue HR or currently in the HR field. So it really guides you and provides you a lot of different class choices on from negotiation to leadership and organization to just value system and more complex questions and classes to help you really deal with that and become more efficient and more successful in that area. Then we have international business. That's another concentration. That is another really great concentration because, again, we are more global society than ever before. So understanding international needs, international desires, international requirements, policies and procedures and different things of that nature is really imperative. This concentration is the only concentration that requires you to actually engage into an international experience. And we provide that experience for you. So don't worry, don't think, oh gosh, I got to go find an international experience somewhere else. We actually provide those opportunities for you. It's called our Study Abroad program. And you will be required to participate in that. So this May, a lot of our students are going to Greece. I believe in March they're going to Greece. In May, a lot of students are going to Amsterdam to engage in an experience there. So there's a lot of different opportunities for you. We will provide that twice a year, every semester actually. So not every semester, every year. So don't feel like you have to look for those opportunities. Those opportunities will be provided. And the last concentration is supply chain management. That is really for our people that are really into moving product or moving people or moving assets from one place to another. And that is something that, again, is really needed in society these days. There's a lot of companies that that's all they do. Amazon, Walmart. I mean, any type of company need logistical skills. So.
Right. So if a student does not want to pick any of those concentrations, do they have the option to choose a general business concentration?
Good question. No, they have. Well, yes, they have opportunity to just pick a general MBA, and so when they don't have to actually pick a concentration. I should have clarified. Let me clarify. And so you actually are just allowed to just get a general MBA, which allows you to take a class in, say, digital marketing, another class in HR, maybe you want to do the study abroad. Allows you just so many vast opportunities for you to actually become more knowledgeable about the MBA program or profession in general. So do not feel obligated that you have to pick between those or you cannot get an MBA. You still will get an MBA, but it will be a general MBA.
Okay.
So great question. So let me just tell you a little bit more about how to complete the program. The program is 33 credit hours. So that means that you can actually complete the program within 1 year. But that year you will have to be definitely committed because you will have to take 4 classes within 1 semester. So let me just tell you how that works. Here at Clayton State University grad programs, we actually provide classes in 8-week sessions, which we call mini semesters. So with those mini semesters, if you take 2 classes the first one, mini semester, and then take 2 classes the second mini semester, which will be considered 1 full semester, you're able to get 4 classes. So a live example is this spring coming up. We have a mini semester from January to March, a next mini semester from March to May. If you would like to take 2 classes in on the first session and 2 classes in the second session, and then continue that on with the 4 classes per session, you're able to graduate within 1 year. But don't feel compelled to do that. Many of our students cannot do that because they have life situations and work and family and just obligations that they cannot do. So do not push yourself to do that. You could take 1 class the first session and 1 class the second session, and you would still be considered a full-time student. That's really important to you because for you to get financial aid, you need 6 credits, which is 3 credits the first semester, the first mini semester, and 3 credits the next mini semester. That is 1 class the first mini semester and 1 class the second mini semester. So you would still be considered full-time. It just take you a little bit longer, but I think it's worth it if you're not able to complete those mini classes at one period of time. So these listed will be the classes that you will be required to take. These are what we call our core curriculum. So it's 24 hours of core curriculum. The first 2 classes, which is Accounting 5000, BUSA 5000, is what we call our foundation classes. Those 2 classes are really 1 class together in a sense because the Accounting 5000 is only 5 weeks long, and then the BUSA 5000 is only 3 weeks long. So that's why it's 2 credits and 1 credit, and total makes that 3 credit. But it really gives you the foundation for your next upper level class, which is the 5200 classes. So just letting you know that's why you have those asterisks on the side there that shows this 1 credit hour and 2 credit hours. So let's talk about application. I think this is when Miss Cannon will probably do us some service because this is her expertise.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So once again, my name is Isa Cannon, and I oversee graduate admissions in the application process. So just briefly, if you are interested in applying to the MBA program, which I encourage you to because it's a great program, there are some documents that we will need in order for Dr. Womack to make a decision as to whether or not she will accept you into the program. So the first thing is, if you go to our website, there is an online application. The online application, there is a $50 application fee as well. Whenever you are on the application, I encourage you to make sure that whenever you have to make that payment, you pay by credit card, because there's another option to pay with a check, but that can hold up the process. So in order to keep that from the process to keep from taking a long time, just make sure that you're able to pay with credit card so that it won't hold up the application piece.
Now tell me about that. Why would it hold up the process if I want to pay with a check?
It will hold up the process because with a check, you would either have to bring it in or mail it in. And as we know, with mail, it could take a little bit longer. And the mail process here, it's not as simple as it's coming directly to graduate admissions. It goes through the mailing department. It goes through several departments before it even gets to admissions. Okay,
Gotcha.
so just be aware. Thank you for asking that. Additionally, with the typical application that you have to fill out, then you would have to submit all of your official college transcripts from any institution that you've ever attended. Now, for those of you that have graduated from Clayton State University, you do not have to resubmit those. We can have access to those, but if you've attended any school outside of Clayton State after you've graduated, then we would need those transcripts to be submitted to us at the admissions department. The way we want those, or we request that those transcripts be submitted is electronically preferably, or you can have them mailed, or you can bring them in. If you decide to have them mailed or bring them in, they must be sealed. You cannot open them and seal them yourself. They have to come from the institution sealed. Right. Once you open them, they are no longer official to us. So just keep that in mind. Ideally, it's just easier to have them electronically sent. And then there are GMAT requirements as well, but that just depends on where you fall within the requirements. If you go to our website, it'll give you a listing of the requirements. It'll give you like a breakdown of the requirements depending on.
Well, I think we're going to go over that a little bit later. Okay. So we'll talk about that a little bit later.
So we'll discuss that a little bit later, but those breakdowns will determine as to whether or not you will need to submit a GMAT score. And then you would also have to submit 3 professional references. Those 3 professional references will be 3 names and the contact information. So you do not have to have anyone write your recommendation letter. We only require the 3 names and their contact information. A statement of purpose will also be needed to submit with your application. Normally when I tell a student about how to write their statement of purpose, I always say to write kind of like a cover letter, as if you're trying to sell yourself as to why you should be accepted into the program. And then a resume is also required. And once again, Dr. Womack will discuss when that is required for acceptance into the program. Typically, if you have a 3.0 or higher, you do not have to submit a resume. Otherwise, you would have to submit a resume. But we'll go over that in a little bit more detail in a few minutes. And then as the deadline dates as well. So we've just admitted all of the students for the first term of spring semester, and now we're starting the application process for the second term. So you can go ahead and get started on that. The deadline date for the March term, or the second term, which starts in March, will be February 1st. February 1st is currently a hard deadline. However, as we get closer to that deadline, we may decide to extend it. So just make sure that you're checking out the website, so in case that happens, you'll know that you still have time. However, we do encourage you to get it in as soon as possible. The sooner you get your application in, the sooner we can get your application documents complete, so that we can submit it to Dr. Womack and the committee, the admissions committee, for them to make a decision on your application, and then the sooner you can register for your classes.
So it's usually about, you say about a week or two?
We typically tell students it takes up to 2 weeks once we get everything from you. That's inclusive of your documents being processed. And then after they're processed, then us compiling the documents so that we can submit it to Dr. Womack, and then Dr. Womack making a decision.
Okay. Any other?
And then lastly, although we're focused on spring semester, then you can also apply for summer if you're interested in starting the summer term. And the deadline dates for the first term is April 15th, and for the second term is July 15th.
Yep. So July 15th is for the fall, correct?
Excuse me, for the fall.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So if you're ready to start in the fall, you can always apply early. So just a little information about the MBA program. And a lot of people say, I want to graduate in a year. How can I do that? Is all the classes offered every semester? And I want to let you know, no. All classes not offered every semester. We will provide you a 3-year projection sheet. In that sheet, it allows you to, it maps out when the classes are being offered, so then you can, create your schedule based on your, basically, your needs and your availability of class schedule. So also we have an advisor that will be provided for you, that will help guide you and walk you through this whole registration, course projection, graduation projection, just everything. She's fantastic. Her name is Miss C.T. Fox. She will actually help you through this process, so do not feel alone at all. The second note is that Accounting 5,000, BSA 5,000, like I said earlier, should be taken together. These are our foundation classes. That is 2 credit and 1 credit. One is for 3 weeks, the other one for 5 weeks. When you take them together, it makes it a 1 class 8-week session. So I suggest everyone that we will help you register. But if you say you want to just do it on your own, please take those classes together. Again, terms are 8 weeks per semester. So we have 2 in the summer, 2 in the fall. 2 in the spring, 2 in the fall, and 1 in the summer. Some prerequisite information is just about some of our capstone. You will have to have some courses taken before you take our capstone class. That's something like a thesis class for many of you guys. Our study abroad, again, is in the May semester, which is in May month, but it is after the last class is being held and before summer classes are being held. So it allows you to not miss out on any opportunity, and it still allows you to participate in a study abroad. And then the one in March is during the spring break. And then the study abroad trip fees is average between $2,500 to $3,500. So I'm not going to go over every class with you. But basically, the core curriculum is listed above on your screen. And then you have, for the accounting concentration, you have a variety of classes that you could take. You are only required to take 3 of them for your MBA, if that is your concentration. So you could take Volunteer Income Tax Assistant, which is VITA, to learn how to do taxes for those that, accountants that really want to pursue that route. You could take Forensic and Investigative Accounting. You could take any accounting class, but you have to take 3.
Now, Dr. Womack, for the accounting concentration, there are 6 prerequisites that are required for the on the website. Is that necessary for them to have before they apply into the program, or is there a way for them to cross-list the courses?
It's not required for them to have, well, we would like you to have those classes. However, it is not a requirement. You can take those 6 classes when you arrive into the program. But again, for you, we require that because some of our accounting classes are really deep dive and really upper level graduate classes. So we want to make sure you have a great foundation so that you become successful in the program. We don't want you to just take a class and then not do well. So we want to make sure we prepare you in that sense. So great question on that one. Digital marketing. On this slide, you will see that again, the core is listed above, but then you have 3 digital marketing classes that you'll be required to take if you pursue that digital marketing concentration. And again, you're not required to pursue any concentration if you do not, desire. Also with HR, you have 4 different classes, and one of the classes is the study abroad experience. We want to make sure that you can partake in this great opportunity because as an HR representative in general, you work with many different international workers, as well as many international companies. So we want to make sure you are well versed in how to work internationally, and so we provide that opportunity for you all. Again, international business concentration. The required courses, if you see right below your core, is those 2 courses, which is International Business and Global Logistics. That is a required class. You need to know information regarding that class to become an international business concentration because you need to have that skill set in general, as an international business representative. And the second one will be a global study abroad. Again, those 2 are your required elective. Then you could choose whatever 3rd elective that's listed below of those 3 different concentration courses. And then for the supply chain, you have 4 different opportunities to take 3 classes. Again, a concentration consists of 9 credits, which is 3 classes. So you could take any of those 3 classes, including the study abroad experience, because again, supply chain really deals with global knowledge. So we want to make sure that you have the opportunity. So let's go into price. Very important to see this price. You all know how the cost of education continue to rise, everywhere you go. But here at Clayton State University, our MBA program is really priced to help everyone and assist everyone that would like to go to school. This program is less than $13,000 a year. Now, it doesn't include books. And I just want to say only the MBA online program, if you choose that platform of delivery, can actually complete it within 1 year. But if you are a traditional student, you can take online as well as seated classes. That may allow you to get there to take the classes and graduate within 1 year. So I just want to point that out to you. But have you seen prices like this?
No, definitely not the schools I went to.
Yeah. All right. So this is a great opportunity for everyone. So I want to make sure you really understand the value of this education because, again, AACSB and that price. Just want to point that out. So I know you went a little bit into detail about the admission process and what type of student or candidate we're looking for. But what you didn't go over was the supplemental admissions criteria. Can you go over a little bit about that?
Yes. So just to piggyback off of what Dr. Womack said, just even in regards to the concentrations, when you do apply, you can choose up to 2 concentrations. Many students don't. Many students just choose 1, but that is an option for you. So just make sure that if that's something that you're interested in, you do have that option to do so. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, if you are going to apply into the program, make sure that you go to our website and you're clear on the admission requirements and which ones you fall under. For instance, if you have a 3.0 or higher, you do not have to take a GMAT and you do not have to submit your resume. Now, if you have a 2.75 to a 2.9, you may not have to submit your GMAT, but there's some stipulations. For instance, if you fall in that institution, that undergraduate institutional category where your GPA is at a 2.5, 2.75 to a 2.9, then Dr. Womack may have you come in for an interview, or have some form of Skype set up so that she can interview you in regard to whether or not she will admit you into the program. Also, if you cannot come in for an interview, the other option is for you to have the experience. So that would mean that you would have to have years of experience demonstrating that you are able to be successful in this type of program. So those would be the two options if you fell in the 2.5 to 2.9 category. In order
2.75.
Excuse me, 2.75 to 2.9 GPA category, in order to exempt you from having to take the GMAT. So once again, just make sure that you are looking at the requirements to see which category you fall into. And then admissions, we also monitor that as well. So if in fact you submit us an institutional GPA and you're unsure, we'll make sure that we communicate with you if you are, or you do happen to have to take the GMAT, or if you have to come in for an interview, or whatever Dr. Womack suggests in regard to your application. If you see as you can see on the PowerPoint, it tells you what the score needs to be if you do have to take the GMAT. So just be aware of that and plan ahead. If you know, or if Dr. Womack says that you have to take it, or you know that you have to take it beforehand, just make sure that you plan in time so that you can meet the deadlines for whatever semester you're trying to get into. And if you do have to take the GMAT, you actually have to go to the GMAT website. You don't come to our website to get GMAT information. You go to the GMAT website, and it will give you information on the test, so how you could take the test, where you could take the test, and the cost of the test.
Good point. Good point. And there's actually a formula that we use to calculate if your GMAT score is high enough to help you out to get into the program. So we would like a total of 1,000. If your GPA is 2.5, what we do is we times that by 200, and then we add in your GMAT score. If that total number is 1,000, you're golden. If it's not, it's something for us to discuss. So just want to point that out to you, so that if you don't know if your GMAT score is high enough, it's a great formula just to understand.
So I didn't mention that, but yes, if your GPA falls below that 2.75, then it is required that you take the GMAT. And as Dr. Womack pointed out, that's how you would know if you met that score requirement. And if you have any questions, just contact us, and we'll be glad to go over this with you again.
Definitely. And so she provides this information, so we're just going to move on. And we're going to move on a little bit more.
The only thing I want to point out, just a tip, when you do apply, just make sure you do not attach any documents to the application, nor add your work experience. You don't have to put the work experience, because for many of you guys, you're going to submit a resume anyway, so we're going to see your work experience from your resume. The attachments, we would prefer you not to attach documents to the application, because sometimes there's glitches that may hold up that process. So what we ask of you is to email your documents to graduate@clayton.edu, and that way we can get it and put all of your stuff together and then submit it to Dr. Womack for review.
Good. That's great information. And can you just talk to a little bit about the international student requirements?
Yes. So for international students, it'll be the same requirements as far as documents, but there are 2 additional requirements that are mandatory for your application. And what that would be the TOEFL, the TOEFL score, and as you could tell, or the IELTS, the TOEFL or the IELTS, and it gives you, you can choose either one, and it tells you what the score should be, what the minimum score should be. So make sure you read this so that you're clear on what test you would like to take, but also what the minimum requirements are. And then the second thing that you would have to provide, if you went to a school outside of the United States, you would have to provide a evaluation of that transcript. We ask whenever you request to get an evaluation for that transcript, that is a course-by-course evaluation with GPA. Please make sure that when you do request it, it has to have that GPA, because the GPA helps us determine if you're exempt from the GMAT, and also it just helps us know what your GPA is, to see how your academics were, so that we can make sure that you can compete in this type of program. So those are the 2 additional documents that you would have to submit to us. And on the PowerPoint, it gives you the 2 evaluators that we use, and you could choose either one. And as soon as you request it, then you can have them mailed directly to our institution.
Sounds good. All right. Well, let's talk about, this is the one that I truly enjoy personally. We have many different students in this category and was very excited to know that they could take advantage of this opportunity. So can you talk a little bit about when students are over age 62?
Yes. So the great thing about being 62 is that you are able to attend school practically free of cost. There may be a small fee, but for the most part, it's you're able to attend for free of cost. And the application requirements are going to be the same as the requirements that I just mentioned. What I will tell you about this particular student is that it is a waiver that is granted to you. There isn't a form. Excuse me. There is a form that you have to fill out. It's a senior citizen waiver that you do have to fill out whenever you decide to apply. That way, we could just make sure that we know that you meet that requirement as far as the senior citizen waiver. And then once we get that, then of course we will make sure that Bursar adjusts your account to reflect that you fall into that category. What I will tell you about this particular waiver as a caveat, just make sure that you know that if you are accepted into the program, the only difference between you and the other students is just when you register. There are certain registration dates that are just specifically for senior citizens, and you just have to be aware of that so you can know that you are not able to register as soon as registration opens. There is a little bit of time between that before you can register. So just make sure that you're aware of that.
Well, I just want to say for all those retirees that are thinking
Come
that they
on
never
back.
did complete their schooling or want to always have an MBA or have that knowledge, come on back for free.
That's
practically.
Right. That's right.
Great opportunity for you all. I don't want you to lose that opportunity that's available for you. So, great. Again, admission requirements. I know, Isa, you brought it up, to have those 6 classes prior to actually coming into the program for accounting majors. Only accounting majors. So if you would like to pursue a concentration in accounting, we would like you to have a C or better in these type of courses. It doesn't have to be those specific courses at your school. It could be equivalent. We call course substitutions or course equivalent classes. So once you submit your transcripts, and we will review it, and we will see which classes we can substitute. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact MBA at clayton.edu. You can also call me directly on my line at 678-466-4520 or your advisor at 678-466-4573.
And then my contact information is 678-466-4110, and my email address is my first name, Isa, that's A as in Alpha, I as in India, S as in Sierra, E as in Echo, and my last name, Cannon, that's C as in Charlie, A as in Alpha, N as in November, N as in November, O as in Oscar, N as in November, at clayton.edu.
Sounds wonderful, and thank you for being a guest today. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having
If
me.
again have any other questions, please contact us. Thank you for joining in.